Hello traders, and welcome to the market opening preview on a Thursday, July 9th, 2015. Traders, it's great to be with you, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Sunny skies, a little overcast. Don't think we'll be doing the beach today, my friends, but the beaches are still white and sandy. Traders, remember this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, great to be with you. If you would, come visit our website at fxclearing.com. Traders, got a lot to go over today. We've got some news to talk about, some numbers to give you, and 6 currency pairs, some trade plans, and what we're expecting to do for the rest of today. Most of them are pretty easy, but we got a couple of tough ones that we got to look at today, and those are the ones that I like to do because they're challenging. Traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career out of the great state of Florida in the fire rescue department business. Yep, I was on the big red truck for a long time, and the little red truck also. I did work as a paramedic quite a while. Traders, I do trade the Forex markets every single day. I'm in the markets, I'm watching technicals, I'm listening to fundamentals, I'm looking at charts, and I'm looking at opportunities and probabilities that are on my side so I can be more successful than unsuccessful in my trades. And yes, traders, I do lose trades. If anybody tells you they win every single trade they're in, run the other way because they're lying. There's no way you can be a trader and not lose a trade. It's just the name of the game. We do lose trades. All right, that's enough about me. Let's get over to legal stuff. This is our risk disclaimer. Always remember that Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. That's our risk disclaimer. Let's head over to news and commentary. Let's take a look at what's going on the calendar today. Quite a lot. We had some data come out in Asia session today. We had Asia unemployment rate and unemployment change, and we had China CPI year on year. Nothing big, no big moves. I think the Aussie moved like 20 pips and then came back down, so it's probably back where it started from. And you'll see that on the chart. So there was no big deal on that side of the fence. There's no more news as far as the Asia session goes. So we're basically now in an inactive zone until the London session starts. Most of the London session is pretty quiet until we get to London lunch. And at London lunch, we have the Great British Pound official bank rate. And then we have MPC rate statement. Now, that can be a shaker and a baker. I am not expecting, and I have not heard, that they're looking to change their rates. So I think it's probably going to stay as it is. I have not heard anything different or have read anything different. In the U.S. session, the only high-impact news event we have is unemployment claims, which we get every week. So that's about it as far as what's going to happen today on a Thursday. Let's take a look at the indices. As some of you might be just waking up or going to sleep, for those of you in the United States, the New York stock market, I guess, had a glitch yesterday, and their computers went down for close to 4 hours, so there was no trading on the floor, which to me sounds pretty crazy. And they're blaming it to an upgrade, that they were doing an upgrade at the time and they had a glitch. So trying to figure out if they were doing the upgrade during trading or they did the upgrade and then they had the glitch when they turned the computers on. I sure hope they did the upgrade and they had a glitch after the fact. I wouldn't think they do an upgrade during active trading. Anyhow, not too good in the numbers, all red. The US 30 was negative 1.47%. The S&P 500 was negative 1.66%. The NASDAQ was negative 1.75%. Not too well, if I have to say it myself. Let's take a look over in the Eurozone. The DAX was up 0.66%. The FTSE 100 out of London was up 0.91%. And the CAC 40 out of Paris was up 0.75%. And the Eurostoxx 50 was up 1.01%. Good job on the Eurozone. All right, we're going to head on over to Asia. Now, remember, these countries are currently trading as we speak. The Nikkei 225 is down negative 0.92%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 0.27%. The Shanghai is negative 1.57%. And the Hang Seng is positive 2.88%. And our good old friend, the Kospi out of Seoul, is negative 1.01%. So that's what's going on with our economic calendar and some of the indices that happened in the New York session. However, let's talk about commentary and what's going on. Well, I think China's basically taking the lead now in the top of the news. Day before yesterday, 1,400 IPOs were unable to trade. Yesterday for today, now they're up to 1,600 IPOs that will not be trading on their markets. Their markets are falling pretty aggressively, and it's affecting globally. So that is really the focus, I think, of the news and what's going on. Greece is still out there, and Greece is still going to be out there. You know, another deadline on Sunday. Do we believe it? Not. I think the biggest deadline is July 20th, when they owe the ECB their hunk of money. And I'll tell you, if they don't pay the ECB, they're not going to be in the Eurozone. That's just my personal opinion. But, however, I would really keep an eye on what China's going to do and what they're doing. They're going to do something to change this and reverse this situation. People are starting to panic over there. However, I was listening yesterday, and it was really amazing of, you know, compared to that population, the amount of people that actually trade the markets. It's very little compared to the number of people that live in China. So it's not affecting the lives of China, or it's not going to affect the GDP of China or anything like that. It's pretty interesting how that works. So it's not a large traded market as far as retail traders are concerned. I thought that news brief or news article was pretty interesting. Our commentary today is we have some difficult charts, we have some good charts, and we have some difficult charts. We need to keep that all in mind. Like I said, we have low data today. We really don't have anything now until London lunch. So we have plenty of time. So basically, London Open is going to be a technical session, and Asia news is all over. So we're basically in an inactive zone. So you should not be trading now. All right, let's head over and let's talk about some 60-minute Forex charts. Remember that every single candlestick on the chart is a 1-hour chart. All right, let's get moving. We're going to start as usual with the euro dollar. All right, the euro dollar gave us an update yesterday. Interesting where it stopped, huh? Right at that 200 exponential moving average, tried twice, 3 times. The situation with this is, I don't know what part of this is the U.S. stock market stopped trading because of computer problems. Excuse me. Or, you know, like what's going on here. So we're wedged in here between resistance and support. Then you have a pivot point. So my thought process is, you know what? If this wants to come down, this needs to clear this pivot point, and I'll be more than happy to enter this at 1.1034. And we'll take it all the way down to the daily S2 or the yellow line, which is support, and that's at 1.0920. So easy trade. I'm not buying the euro dollar, folks. I am not buying the euro dollar. This thing can go up 100 pips. It's going without me. I want to sell this. I want to sell the euro dollar. All right. Okay, let's head over to the pound. Pound's pretty interesting. Had a nice down day yesterday. Some really nice pips there. I'm looking for this pullback to this 38.2 at 1.5428. We have to get through this pivot point. We got a daily pivot point. That's that magenta line there. It's a little hard to see, but you can see where it says D and then pivot. That's our daily pivot point. However, look at these candles in Asia. They're really, really weak. And the problem is we have no catalyst in London to get this thing up there. So I'm hoping something comes out where this will bring it back up. I surely do not want to sell here, right? We don't sell into, we don't sell at support, and basically we're at support. So we need this to come up to this 38.2 at 54.28, and we can get out of the trade at 53.49. If it doesn't pull back, and we know that the pound is not really the pair that likes to give pullbacks, but we can only hope that it does something. We have basically 5 hours before the London Open, so hopefully we'll get some candle movement here and some progression, and get up to our place where we can sell this. But I surely don't want you or me to sell it right now. Let's take a look at the Aussie. Aussie had some news today. You can see the big blue candle came up there. I think it only moved about 20 pips. It's maybe 10 pips from where it was when I opened my charts this morning, which was quite early in the morning for me. Basically like between 6:30 and 7. And so it was quite early when I opened my charts, and those were those tiny little candles. And then it pumped down and gave us this blue candle. So this blue candle is taken after the data came out. We, in the live trading room, actually waited for this data to come out before we moved on and did an analysis. And it actually ended up being a dud, so nothing's happened here. So what do we need now? Well, it spiked up to that 50% level, so we really need this to come back up to that 50% level. It's still above this daily pivot point, and I'm not trading into this daily pivot point. Why am I not trading into this daily pivot point versus the pound? Well, look at left of the chart. If you look left of the chart, there is a lot of resistance there. There's a lot of Forex junk, we call it, Forex garbage. Resistance, look at these indecision, decision candles all over the place. Really not a place I want to be entering into a trade. I like to, trade in wide open spaces. So we want this to pull up to 0.7454. We'll sell it down to support at 0.7380, which also is the daily S1. So I think it's an easy trade plan. The question is, can this pump up and give us our entry? I don't expect anything on any of these charts before the London Open. Here's the Euro Aussie. We looked at this yesterday, and yesterday, remember, it was above and it went to resistance, right? Remember yesterday? It was all the way up there, and we said, oh, we'll wait for it to bounce down. Well, this is a new chart, and I put in some new numbers here, but we're in the same predicament here. We're at resistance. I'm not buying here. I'm definitely not buying here. And we have a daily all-one above resistance. So I don't want to buy here. I want to sell this. We sell at resistance, right, and we buy at support. So if you're aggressive and you get a candlestick formation below that trend line, and it's a bearish candlestick, well, you can sell it at 1.4909. Just be careful. You're trading into 4,900, so expect a bounce. You're going to get a bounce there. The other thing is we have a daily pivot point. Now, I'm more conservative. I don't want to fight that 4,900. So I'm going to wait till it gets down to 48.40, 48.50, 48.60, somewhere in there. Anywhere below the daily pivot point, I'll be more than happy to sell it. And I'm looking not for a lot of pips, because at 47.75, I'm out. But, that's a good 50-pip trade there. So I think that'll work out just fine. This Euro Aussie's in a really weird situation. It's basically sideways, folks. And if you look at the candles, I would say 80% of these candles are indecision candles. And that makes a really big difference in how I look at how I'm going to trade this. I love trading this pair. When this pair trades and it gets in a mode, you can get 3 nice days and you can make a couple hundred pips real nice and easy. But it's got to be in its mode. It's not in its mode. It's sideways. So we needed it to prove itself. And that's why I say, me being conservative, I'd rather wait for this to clear this daily pivot point. I know you all are saying, Bill, but that's 60 pips away. Well, that's okay. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because if this thing bounces off this pivot and bounces all the way back up, now I'm in a loss, right? So I'd rather be conservative. If you're aggressive, I'd stick your stop above the daily all-one and go for it. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Yen. Euro Yen's done very nicely yesterday, moved a nice down move, and has continued. However, this is not the place you want to take a sell trade because we're at support at 133.45. However, we would like to see this come back up to the 38.2, and at 134.15 we could sell it. I'm not concerned about that pivot point. Now you're saying, well, why is this chart any different from the other chart? Well, I don't think that the Forex junk left of the pivot point is really going to make an issue. One reason is because the junk is spread out. You can see that where the Fibonacci lines end, that's a nice wide open space there. It's not all crushed together. So I think we're going to be all right. I think this is going to come up to our level, and we'll be able to sell this. If it comes up to the pivot point and gives us a bearish candlestick formation, I will take that sell trade. So if it comes up to the pivot point, gives me a bearish candlestick formation, I will take the sell trade. I'd rather it come up to the 38.2 at 134.15 and sell it from there. I hope I didn't confuse you on that one, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you look at the chart. All right, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar had an up day yesterday, which I call a correction day, which it's entitled to do. However, I'm not selling into a daily pivot point and a support line, right? So I need us to get below the support line and give me a retest at 0.6684. Now, remember what I just said. I need a retest. We don't sell at support, right? We need to sell at resistance. So we need to break that line, hit it again. That's just like one candle, and then come to the downside. And we'll take profit at 0.6629. So, you know, pretty easy trade plan. The problem is lack of data coming out today, lack of catalyst, lack of price action. It is a Thursday, even though Thursdays, I have to say, is normally a pretty good trading day. So I'm looking forward to trading today and for this trade to work for us. All right, traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And on July 9th, 2015, absolutely beautiful. The sun has come out in Pattaya, Thailand. Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, have a great trading day. Grab those profits, and we'll catch you next time before the London Open. Take care, traders. Have a good one. Bye-bye.